Now today we are going to solve some numerical problem. So one of the problem which is from JEE Mains 2021. The problem from the complex number is you have a relation which is given root 3 plus iota raised to power 100 is equals to 2 raised to power 99 into complex number p plus iota q, and p p q are root of an equation. Now the question is, what is form of equation? Okay, so let's start solve the question. You can see this looks very easy if you observe this relation. Then what can you see here? Root 3 plus iota raised to power 100, and in the right hand side you have 2 raised to power 99 p plus iota q. So you can say these power are somehow they are nearby, and if you try to find out some relation, let's say root 3 plus iota, and if you multiply with the same number root 3 or conjugate of this one, then what will you get? So you get this 3 plus 1, that is 4, which is equals to 2 raised to power 2. So somehow you have to make a relation here. So what can you do? You can multiply it in denominator and numerator by 2. So if you multiply here by 2 inside the bracket and divide it, the divide wala number we can put in the denominator of the real and imaginary part of this complex number, and you the number which you have in the multiplication, now this is the thing which you have, and then in the right hand side this is the form. Now if you takes this 2 outside the bracket, it will be 2 raised to power 100, and then inside the bracket you will have root 3 by 2 plus iota by 2. Now there is little bit use of the trigonometry. So you know that e raised to power iota theta is simply cos theta plus iota sin theta. Now you should know what is the value of a cos theta between 0 to pi. Okay, so you can think easily that root 3 by 2 is the value for pi by 6 for the cos. Okay, so this is like theta. If theta is 30 degree, and this then you can say the cos 30 is equals to simply root 3 by 2, and then sin 30 is simply equals to 1 by 2. So this number can be written as cos of pi by 6 plus iota of sine pi by 6 raised to power 100. Here also we left 100, and you have in multiplication 2 raised to power 100, and the right hand side you have 2 raised to power 99, and then p plus iota q. Till this point I think everything is clear, but in the left hand side you have 2 raised to power 100, and left hand side, and right hand side you have 2 raised to power 99. It will cancel out. Here you will have 2 in the left hand side. So let's go to the next slide. Now this thing can be written e in the power of a using this expression. So theta you know here, which is equal to pi by 6, so it will be 2 into e raised to power iota into pi by 6 raised to power 100, which is equals to simply p plus iota q. Okay, now coming to the next slide, you have 2, and then e raised to power iota pi by 6 raised to power 100 is equals to p plus iota q. Now we want to calculate the value of p and q, and after that we know that p and q are the root of the equation, so we can write down the quadratic equation. Now here you have e raised to power iota pi divided by 6 into 100 is simply equals to p plus iota q. Now again you can write down in term of the cos theta and sin theta. So it's simply cos 100 pi divided by 6 plus iota sin 100 pi divided by 6. Okay, and in the right hand side you have p plus iota q. Now the thing, how to calculate the 100 pi by 6. So first you can write it down separately, and you can calculate the value of this one. It is simply 50 pi by 3, so which can be written as 3 1 ja 3, then you have 2 here, and 3 6 ja 18, plus you have remaining 2, and then pi by 3. Okay, so if you want to write down in term of this one, then you simply can write it in this form. And the 16 pi, at the 16 pi, at the even number, cos doesn't change its value, so it is simply cos 2 pi by 3 plus iota sine 2 pi by 3. And what is the value of cos 2 pi by 3? That we need to calculate here. So in this quadrant, it start from 0, then it is pi by 2, and it is pi. Okay, so if you, where is 2 pi by 3? It's simply you have some angle theta which is subtract by the pi minus pi by 3, and at this point you have 2 pi by 3. In the second quadrant, the sign is positive and the cos is negative. Okay, so now if you want to calculate the value of this angle from the right hand side, if you want to see, it will be pi minus pi by 3, which is 2 pi by 3. So you can have like simply 2 into 180 divided by 3, which is simply equals to 120. Okay, now at the 120, value of the sine is simply is equals to, let's say, sine 90 plus 30 is equals to cos 30, and cos 30 is simply equals to root 3 by 2. So here you have plus iota root 3 by 2, and in this side you simply have, for the sine 30, you will have 1 by 2 with the negative sign. So, and in multiplication you have 2, which is simply equals to p plus iota q. Okay, now by comparing you can easily see here the value of p is equals to -1, and value of q is root 3. Is it clear? From here, if you multiply 2 inside the bracket, this 2 will be like cancel out, and then by comparing then of the left hand side and right hand side, you can have the value of p and q. The next thing is how to write down the quadratic equation if these are two roots. So you have quadratic equation in the form of ax square plus bx plus c, and let's say alpha and beta are roots of above equation. Okay, so sum of root is simply is equals to minus b by a. Okay, and the multiplication of these two root is simply c by uh, a. So here in the top of that, if you see two root alpha and beta, which is in our case p and q, if we do the sum of them, which is root 3 minus 1, which is simply equals to minus b divided by a, and if you multiply them, you have minus root 3, which is simply equals to c upon a. Okay, now from here you can easily calculate the value of c and b in term of a. So value of c is minus root 3 of a, and value of b is simply minus root 3 and then minus plus 1. Okay, and now putting everything in this equation, you will have a x square plus, what is the value of b? B is simply minus root 3 plus 1 into x plus sorry, c value of c is minus root 3, a uh, equals to 0. So you can take the common a from the each term, and then final equation you have x square, and if you want to take the minus sign outside the bracket, so it will be root 3 into minus 1 of x, and then here is minus root 3 equals to 0. So this is the answer.